Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of my Baltimore Orioles fantasy draft franchise here on MLB 14 the show. In the last episode, I said a lot of trades were coming. As you can see, we're going to flip Zach Wheeler for Sonny Gray, Taiwan Walker and Jared Kozar for Mike Minor and Hisashi Iwakuma, Yoenis Cespedes, Glenn Perkins, and Ruben Tuhada. We're going to acquire, giving up Joe Nathan, Christian Yelk, and Anthony Rendon. And the final trade will be taking on Josh Johnson and Rafael Soriano and giving up Nolan Arenado. So those are the trades right there. As we're going to take on the Houston Astros, Sonny Gray's debut as a Baltimore Oriole here in this fantasy draft franchise. And a lot has happened in the past week and a half, 2 weeks of sports since I missed last week's episode. And just start off, you probably already know, last night in the USA blue and white team scrimmage game, Paul George suffered a compound fracture in his tibia and fibula. Feel really bad for him. My prayers go out to his family and himself, and he will bounce back and have a great 2015-16 season, as I believe he is missing all of next year. So let's get into it. Trade deadline just happened, and there was one trade that sparked many trades, and that was the John Lester and Johnny Gomes for Yoenis Cespedes and a draft pick trade. And that was just crazy. I got the alert on my phone, and I didn't think that was right. I thought the Red Sox were going to get prospects out of Lester, not a all-star left fielder who has arguably the greatest arm in baseball right now and is one of the best fielders and can hit the ball. He has a lot of pop on the ball, but his average isn't too good. He won the home run derby this year. You guys probably know that. And that was it for that trade. The next trade, I didn't get at all. This trade shocked me even more. I don't know what's going on in the Rays front office right now. I don't even know if they know what to do, as they're trading away David Price. We all know they were going to probably trade David Price, even though they started making a run this season. But they could since the Red Sox just got Yoenis Cespedes for Lester, you could think that the Rays would get like Carlos Gonzalez for like David Price or something like that. But no, they trade David Price to the Tigers. Great deal for the Tigers. The Mariners get Austin Jackson. Great for them. They needed a good center fielder to try to get their playoff run in the wild card spot. But the Rays, they get Drew Smyly. Okay, he's a decent pitcher. Nick Franklin. They didn't trade away Ben Zobrist, so they still have Ben Zobrist there. And Willie Adames. Unless Willie Adames is going to be the next Robinson Cano, I don't see what they're getting out of this deal. I don't at all. It just doesn't make sense. David Price is he came off the Cy Young. He won it 2 years ago. And they're getting Drew Smyly, who I think used to be a pretty good prospect, but I don't see what they're doing. The Rays honestly failed that trade. They'll probably get like a grade F. As the Tigers and Mariners probably get like the Tigers will get an A+, no doubt. They have the last 3 Cy Young winners with Verlander, David Price, and Max Scherzer, and they also have Porcello and Anibal Sanchez also in the rotation. And I think they don't have the best starting rotation in baseball. I still think it's the A's, but the A's have Kazmir, Gray, Samardzija, Lester now, and I think Jason Hamilton and Jesse Chavez is on the disabled list, I believe. And they traded away Tommy Malone to get Sam Fold, and he'll play left field with Johnny Gomes. I guess they'll put Toon in there as well. And then the A's also released Jim Johnson. Sad to see how he fell off the road. He had, I think, 50 saves with the Orioles back a couple years ago, and then he got a $10 million contract, and he just got released, so it's sad to see how he fell off. And then the Red Sox weren't done trading their starting pitcher. They did trade away Jake Peavy for 2 prospects, I think a week and a half, 2 weeks ago back. And they also traded away, a couple hours after the John Lester deal, they traded away Ian Kennedy for Joe Kelly and Alan Craig. And I guess they're looking towards the future with their rotation with Joe Kelly, Brandon Workman, Alan Webster, Anthony Ronaldo, who I believe got called back to AAA but debuted last night against the Yankees and picked up the win, and Ruby De La Rosa. And then they're giving up Ian Kennedy, who's getting up there in age, and a lot of teams wanted him as well, but it's good to see. Wait, not Ian Kennedy, my bad. Why did I say Ian Kennedy? Why have I been saying Ian? No, John Lackey, excuse me. Because there was talks about Ian Kennedy getting traded from the Padres, but it's really John Lackey. So whenever I said Ian Kennedy, I apologize. It was really John Lackey. Now I feel like an idiot for doing that. So there was the Yankees made some trades. They really what they do all the time. They give away top prospects or decent week that could be good prospects for overpaid veterans as they do that, giving up Peter O'Brien, who's got like 30 home runs in the minors right now. And for Martin Prado, who's making $11 million, but he could play anywhere in the infield and anywhere in the outfield. But that's what the Yankees do. And they also took on Stephen Drew's $14 million contract, and they give up Kelly Johnson, and Stephen Drew's batting sub 200, so he's not doing good at all this year. But it's just what the Yankees do, and I guess they have the money to spend, so be it. I'm not a Yankee fan. They can do whatever the heck they want. And then I'm a New York Mets fan. They didn't make any trades, which I'm kind of happy and kind of mad about. I'm happy they didn't trade away Daniel Murphy, but I'm kind of mad they didn't trade Bartolo Colon since he's 41 and didn't trade him to a contender, since he's making $9 million this year, $11 million next year, and he's turning 42 next year. He's still pretty decent. He has one of the best control in baseball. And there was talks that the Mets could get Troy Tulowitzki this year, giving up two of their best pitching prospects of Rafael Montero and Noah Syndergaard, and a top catching prospect Kevin Plawecki for Tulowitzki, but that will probably resume in the winter, they said. And I would like that, but then I'm kind of scared because I remember the last time the Mets got a big name player in a trade, and that was in 2009 for Johan Santana, and they gave up a top prospect, and he's a all-star this year, center fielder for the Brewers, Carlos Gomez, and yeah, and they got Johan Santana, who just was terrible on the Mets. Seems like everybody goes on the Mets that's terrible, just like Jason Bay. I think he had like 40 home runs in an all-star, comes to the Mets, batting like 150 and getting overpaid. Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod, who's having actually a pretty good year with the Brewers this year, had like 60-something saves with the Angels, comes to the Mets and doesn't do anything, and Johan Santana as well. So, just to move to the NFL, Ray Rice did get suspended to only 2 games for knocking his wife unconscious in an elevator. Should have been suspended half the year, but it's not my call. It's Roger Goodell's call, but should have been suspended way more than 2 games. And preseason is starting tomorrow, I believe, as this is Saturday, August 2nd. Tomorrow is the 3rd, and it's the Giants versus Bills. I'm just excited to watch football. I believe on Thursday the Steelers play the Giants, which I'm excited for that since I'm a Steelers fan. And I just can't wait to watch football this year, and it's going to be a good year. So that was it for I'm going to talk about it, and this game's almost over. As you can see, we are in extras now, bottom of the 10th. 1-2 pitch to Josh Donaldson. He could win it for us, but no, he's going to strike out swinging, and with runners on first and second, and still with runners on first and second, Yasiel Puig's going to ground out to the third baseman, who will throw it onto first, and that will retire the side. So we're going to go into the top of the 11th, or the bottom of the 11th now. We would get them. Runner on second, 3-2 pitch, 2 outs to Xander Bogaerts. The pitch to Bogaerts is a deep fly ball into center field. Peter Porros going back at the track, and it is out of here. A walk-off 2-run home run for Xander Bogaerts as the Orioles win in extra innings, 5-3. Great game coming off all those trades, as it's going to pay off as we win in extras. He will celebrate with his teammates, and that was going to be it for episode 5. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment of what you thought about this past week in sports, and I will see you guys in the next video.